Brittney is finally fighting back against her Judas, Jamie Lynn Spears, her sister, and I'm so happy about it. Let's talk about it. Let's get into it and let's talk about what it means. Hello and welcome to Queendom TV. Today I'm going to be talking about how Brittney is fighting back against Jamie Lynn. This video is going to serve as a part 2 to a video that I've done already where I was talking about how Jamie Lynn doesn't know God, and I'm going to get to why that's an important thing throughout the video, so please stay tuned. And if you like the video, like the video. If you like my stuff, subscribe here, and please also let me know what you think in the comments down below. I'd love to hear from you guys, and let's get into it. So the thing with this whole Brittney situation now, as Brittney did her testimony, one of the things you'll know, as I mentioned in my other video, all of a sudden Jamie Lynn piped up with this Instagram live where she wanted to explain her side of the story, and that she was just trying to support her sister, and she was just trying to protect her because she didn't want to talk out loud, and that's why she hasn't said anything. And the only reason she's saying something now is because Brittney's saying something now, and all of this stuff. And one thing I would like to say, guys, I think, you know, again, in terms of, I think your instincts, I feel like God gives us instincts for a reason. I feel like God's instincts are like the seed of the Holy Spirit inside of us that can let us know when something isn't adding up. And I've even watched, you know, the body language specialists and stuff discuss and pick apart Jamie Lynn's videos, and you should check some of those kind of videos out, and they can actually show you how you can tell that she's actually lying about what she's saying. But nevertheless, she said what she said, and it's one person's word against another. And I think a lot of the time narcissistic people use the opportunity to have my word against yours to stop your word from being seen as the truth. And I think that's what was going on. But what I would like to point out about Brittney, and why this is the part 2 to my other video, is the fact that now, you know, recently we've seen that they've been arguing, going back and forth, kind of having somewhat subliminal messages about each other, or hidden messages that we suspect are about them. And it's showing, it's kind of showing the cracks of even Jamie Lynn's story. So for example, there were these tweets going back and forth, and again Jamie Lynn tried to play the God card, like just praying peace and love for this person or whatever it was. You can find like the screenshots online. There's loads of great articles that show you the actual although a lot of the posts have come down, people managed to get the quotes before the posts came down, you know. And her post was something like, just wishing you peace and love, and so on and so on and so forth, to her sister. Which, let's be totally honest, guys, if that was the truth, she would have gone out of her way, as Brittney said, because Brittney called her out. She said something like, if you could see that somebody was in a situation, somebody that you love was in a situation, and they're not okay, and you're there and you're living with them, and you can help, why you would if you loved them, you would help them get out of the situation. Which everyone, you know, it was something like that. Like, I'm rephrasing it, and that's not exactly how she said it, but I'm kind of rephrasing it. And so that kind of shows you that Brittney was kind of suggesting, or a lot of us believe that she was suggesting, that this is what she wanted and expected from her sister Jamie Lynn, like that she should have been there for her as her sibling, on a sibling level, trying to defend her and help her, and not just, you know, kind of lying down with the rest of everything. So I think that again is exposing how, you know, this is Brittney's kind of Judas. Somebody that you've grown up with, you know, like similar to Jesus. Jesus had Judas around him. He showed love to him. He brought him in for things, you know, and I think Brittney's kind of touched on that as well. You know, I mean, she doesn't even need to touch on it. The fact is, these guys all have money. A lot of the money and riches they have is because of her. So she's been around them in a similar kind of way with Jesus and Judas, Jamie Lynn that is, and she's been able to benefit off Brittney. And yet, still, when it came down to it, the fact that she had been in that was not enough to make Jamie Lynn step out and show up for her sister. And so that's why I really feel like Jamie Lynn is kind of exposing herself as a Judas to Brittney. But a kind of side note to that, and on top of, and the thing about that is as well, I feel like Brittney responded to Jamie Lynn in all of this in the same way Jesus responded to people who were kind of trying to pretend that they were all holier than thou in this religion. I don't want to say in this religion, they were all holier than thou, believing in God, when in reality they didn't really show who God really was. And I talked about that in the part 1 of this, or what I'm now making the part 1 of this, these 2 videos. And so with Jamie Lynn, she's the one saying, oh, I want to have peace and love. I wish peace and love to my sister, whatever. But we can see very clearly that's not what she's doing. And a lot of people would suggest even that the behavior that Jamie Lynn is showing is kind of like how a lot of church people nowadays contradict the Bible and contradict God, which is why a lot of people don't really agree with that, you know. And if you look at Britney, however, and this is exactly why I believe that God is behind Britney Spears, guys. This is why. What Britney said in response, which would not be what the traditional, or what the world thinks is the traditional response back to her, she said something like, I hope God will wrap his blessings around your mean butt, or something. She said like that. I hope God will wrap his blessings around your mean butt, right? And the reason why I actually think that's more of a godly response is because I feel like that's kind of how Jesus was. Like, Jesus called the Pharisees, you know, a brood of vipers. That's a really strong statement to make, you know. And people act like, you know, being a Christian is all like, oh, everything's nice and lovely. No, being a Christian and believing God is about truth, you know, and saying the truth. And so Britney, you'll see that what she did do, she still said, was in love, saying to her that she still wants, you know, the best for her. I can't remember exactly what it was. I feel like I screenshotted the quotes and they're going to be in the thumbnail. Britney showing that she's not trying to pretend that that her sister isn't who her sister is, but at the very same time, she's still showing the love that Christ and God gives to us. And I think that is a real representation of God. That is a real representation of somebody that knows God. Not what Jamie Lynn is doing over there. What Jamie Lynn is doing over there is fake. And that's why it doesn't sit right with you when she says all of this stuff. It feels uncomfortable because it's not real. But then when Britney says what she says, I mean, even will.i.am stepped in and was like, love that, or I love this, or something like that, you know, because people are responding because they're feeling that, you know, that feeling when you feel like something is truthful. That's what they're getting from this. So, you know, I think it's really, really, really interesting how this is all playing out, and it's exposing, you know, the powers behind things that are working out. And again, this is why I'm so glad that even this has happened, because I didn't know any of this was going to happen when I made the initial video about, you know, how these three people don't know God. But as we're seeing it, we're seeing how God is turning the tables around for Britney Spears, because he believes in true justice, not the justice of this world that lets people get away with things. The Samuel Inghams, which I did a video about Samuel Ingham and how he shows that the justice system of this world is not a real justice system. And so that's really interesting. And another thing that I wanted to touch on, which was highlighted in a video by Sloan, who's also a great content creator out there, who's kind of exposing what's going on. He was talking about a comment that was under something where one of the people in the comments has said that, you know, Jamie Lynn is literally obsessed with Britney. And the reason why somebody had made this comment is because a lot of the fans had noticed that when Britney was piping back at Jamie for what she was doing, to Jamie Lynn for what she was doing, Jamie Lynn was changing her posts very, very quickly. So like when Britney piped back about may God wrap his blessings around your mean butt, or whatever it was that her comment was, that was similar to that. Just basically something saying, acknowledging that she's mean, but then also still genuinely wishing the best of God for her, kind of thing. You see that it apparently took Jamie only like 5 minutes, Jamie Lynn 5 minutes to change the captions, to be changing all these captions. And then I remember there was another thing that I was watching, and I can't remember where I saw this, where somebody had caught like a reflection of Jamie Lynn with her husband, and there was like a reflection of the fact that they were on like Britney Spears's page, and the person said that although this is just a one-off picture and a one-off moment, it made them kind of uncomfortable to feel like that she was focusing so hard on what's going on with Britney. And when I think about my own social media use, don't get me wrong, I use social media a lot, but for me, like, if I was in that situation, if I'm having an issue with people, I'm not really there. Like, even people who I feel have truly treated me badly, I'm not there obsessing over them on social media. That's what they suggested. They suggested that these people commenting were suggesting that Jamie Lynn is actually obsessed with Britney. Like, she's checking everything that's going on with her sister. And again, to me, that's something I personally see as a characteristic of narcissistic people, but also people that are not happy for you and are actually jealous of you and your success, and don't want the best for you because they're just watching your every move. Like, think about it like this, like, it's like haters. It's like haters. I don't even have to explain that. It's like the whole concept of haters. Haters are always funny because they'll be under somebody's video writing YouTube comments, and they'll comment under every single video. But it's like, but you're choosing, you're saying you don't like this person's content, and you're choosing to be under that person's video all the time. So you're obsessed with that person. You see, when I have people that I don't like, because we're not all going to like everybody that we watch on YouTube or that we see, you click with who you click with, and that's fine and that's great. And that's why I always say to you guys, even on here, like, if you feel like this is your vibe on my channel and this and you're part of this tribe, of this wavelength of the things I talk about, then subscribe and let's do this. If not, that's totally okay, right? But what I know that is when I see videos of people that I don't like on social media, I don't stalk them. I don't watch their videos for people who I don't like or who I'm not happy with, because I don't have time for that. I'd rather be watching the people I do like. I'd rather be talking to the people I do like. So again, for people to respond in that way, to be so obsessed with somebody, that means that there's another emotion, there's another spirit at play with what they're doing. And I feel like the other spirit that's at play with what they're doing is jealousy, it's hatred, because you're so obsessed over somebody who's not even obsessing over you. I don't even think Brittany half the time is even paying attention to Jamie Lynn. I bet you, because Brittany's just doing her own thing, and yet Jamie Lynn, you know, is always knowing what's going on with Brittany and always ready to fight back and defend. And she's just out here trying. I mean, she didn't even have to say anything. I almost respect the people more who are not even bothering to pretend like they actually care than I do like Jamie Lynn and right now, because at least they're not trying to now create a narrative that doesn't exist, you know. And so anyway, I just wanted to make this as a part 2 to again illustrate why I said in my initial video, now this video, it's been months since I made that video, why those people, we've now got Jamie Lynn ticked off the page, James, Lou M. Taylor, while these people don't know God, and how Brittany does, and why I think it's God that is delivering justice for Britney Spears. So thank you so much for watching my channel, and please do like the video if you like it. Please subscribe for more. I've got so many new videos coming out. You guys have no idea how many videos I have coming out, and I'm loving talking to you guys. So also drop a comment and let me know your thoughts and opinions, whether you agree or disagree with me. I love to hear from you. I think the more we talk about this, the more closer we're going to get to justice for people who deserve it, you know. And so I'm loving being a part of this movement. God bless you all, and I'll catch you in another one. I've got all my videos about Britney Spears in a #FreeBritney playlist on my channel, so you can check it out there. God bless you all, and goodbye.